I see. Okay. There we are. Hi. I just did a bunch of talking without realizing I'd fucked it up. I don't have the stream up. Man, look at all the people saying so. Thank you. I'm so stupid. Oh my God. What? You are all now employees. Don't form a union. No, but thank you. I was dumb. As I was actually explaining, I was getting ready to go. Talk about the countdown timer. Hope you like the smoke, the little smoke bits coming out of it. They used character animator to do that. Yeah, I built in like a little bonus, or not bonus, where it blinks. And see, now I'm trying to say the same shit over and over. What I was getting to was that right at the 2-minute countdown, I decided to clip my nails. And the nails have been getting long and funky. Not too bad, but they need frequent clipping and typing and, you know, whatever. I just like to have my nails short. And, yeah, so that took up a bunch of time, and then I realized I was running behind. And, of course, that fucked up everything. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Shelster Bell, Galactic Spire, Butter Nichols, for your attention and for letting me know. So, cool. I'd said a bunch of other stuff. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, how about how I'm keep intending to get the other podcast, like more like yelling about Joe Biden, yeah, fucking politics, like that kind of stuff, going and doing some other the content ideas. I'm getting more and more comfortable saying the word content, even though it upsets me every time. I feel like Satan grins whenever I say content, and it sucks, but that's what, I don't know, maybe there's got to, whatever, who cares, it's just a fucking word. But so this week there will be some new stuff. Feeling like it's finally time. Been putting a lot of hours into Valheim and a hell of a lot of hours into woodworking. I just spent about 4 or 5 hours making I walked by my neighbor's place and they had these 3 little plants on the ground, on the concrete, and I was like, I can't fucking stand this. I'm going to swoop in. So I put my cape on, took my cape off, because they get caught in the table saw and then you get choked to death if it doesn't cut your head in half. I don't have a table saw. And I decided to make a planter box. Or like a rail thing. Like a shelving thing with angles and sticks and, well, we call them boards. Trees call them sticks. And so that's what I was working on a little bit yesterday and a little bit today. And I'm at the assembly of the it's going to be 3 shelves. It took a while to get these angle things up, and I really fucked up real bad on them. You can cut out a piece of wood on one. If you're going to get 2 pieces of wood like to connect, right? You cut a little out of one and a little out of the other, and if you line it up right, then they just go and they sink right into each other, and it looks beautiful, and it's a lovely, and it's like, oh, such a nice detail, because I could have just held them together and glued or screwed them together. It could have been super easy. So I did it the hard way, and of fucking course, when I go to put them in, they fit, but there's just giant gaps, just huge empty spaces that are. So it's actually kind of good because it gives me a little flexibility, but I don't have all the right tools or the right stuff or any experience or the know-how or whatever, but I do have the gumption to try, and that's all you need sometimes. So yeah, it's going to be angled. Anyway, let me show you some pictures real quick. I'll try to keep this quick. This is one, come on. Well, let's see if that works. Will that work? No, it's fucking rotating. God damn it. Here, orientation lock. So this is going to be like the bottom panel thing. This guy. Is that showing up? Stream is, there it is. Why am I not? Okay, you get the idea. What the fuck? Oh, I got the wrong thing in my way. I am never going to clip my nails right before starting this again. That is going to be part of my morning 5-hour soak in the tub. So, okay. All right, sorry. Resetting some of my windows here, getting situated. Plant stand, question mark. Did I? Yes. And they find me dead with the cape on. Yeah. Not all heroes wear capes, but all dead people do. All ghosts have capes. It's just a thing. That's why Dracula wears a cape, because he's a ghost. That's why there's mirrors don't work on him. Or her. Yeah, so this thing is great. It's coming together. I did the spacers wrong. I used math. Big fucking mistake. I have these little blocks as I don't know if you can see that tiny block that's sort of poking between the two bigger ones. Those are useful for replicating exactly the same size to get the gaps correct. But I didn't do the math correctly. So if you look closely, and I'm just going to let this be part of the character of the piece. There is, I was like, why isn't it rotating? There is the board on the, I don't know, the right, yes, is too close. So I started from the left and worked my way to the right, and it turned out the gap was way off. I even thought I was being smart about it, because getting gaps working is tricky. Ugh, spit all over my. But anyway, yeah. So I'm using Craig joinery, which is using pocket holes, and so you have to drill this special jig thing that cuts a angle hole, and then you can do it because it makes the wood disappear. But on the back, I didn't want to bother with that because it's a little bit more work. So I'm drilling straight in at the back, and if you can see, the only thing I want you to notice are the holes are kind of routed out with a now I can't think of what these things are called. Countersink, and it's this really cool tool that looks like this. It's like a silver, well, most metal is kind of silver colored, isn't it? Except copper and gold. And it's a great little cutting thing. So the circle you see in there actually is what cuts. Let me go and zoom in on this. Not going to work. Come on. It's a strange sort of thing because you don't really think of that as a cutting surface, but it pokes in and it cuts and it forms a beautiful, smooth depression. Boy, when couldn't we all get so lucky? And that's what gives you the kind of hole that the head of the screw will then sit into. So, like there. I have no idea. Does that help any of that? So yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna go too much rambling on other shit. Just checking on our Twitch. We see. Okay, you guys are digging it, I guess. Fill in the gaps with joints with epoxy or something. Those routed holes look fancy. The holes do add a little. That's Galactic Spire. The holes do add a little bit of. Like, I'm not just a weekend guy. I'm a weekend guy with YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I like those. I like those types of details. And this is supposed to be outdoors, so this is going to sit outside and on concrete with dirty planters on it. So I'm normally pretty precious and meticulous about every gap and stuff, but considering my experience, the level, the workshop I have with sort of a cobbled together, I mean, I don't have the ability to do it as precise as my OCD would demand. So I'm kind of pulled back on that. But because this is outdoor furniture, I'm using scrap redwood trim that we bought when I built a giant coffin for tortoises. It was a house for tortoises, but it was the size of a coffin. Fucking, that's how I hurt my wrist. Anyway, redwood's good for outdoors and stuff, but the verticals aren't redwood. Those are some other kind of wood that I got from some other thing I found on the curb. So it'll be, I'm not sure if I'm going to stain it or not, or seal it, do some outdoor stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like doing it. Seems like something I've been wanting to build similar planters before, but I was like, okay, look, this is a perfect chance. So let's put. And also, I've made about 45 candle holders last week or something, and I'm just a little candle holdered out, which is probably not good for a guy who's banking his entire future on selling candle holders on the internet. I'm not quite, but I am gonna start selling stuff on Etsy soon, and maybe my own site, which will cut out some of the Etsy bullshit. Yeah. All right. But so yes, filling joints with epoxy or wood filler. You can buy pre-made, factory-made wood fillers. So you can just take a little glue and a little sawdust, preferably sanding dust, but you can get sawdust from cuts or just sweep up, find a spot on the floor where there's a bunch of dust that's relatively unstepped on or filled with dog hair or some shit. Doesn't have all the dropped raisins from your lunch snack, and mix that in with some glue. You can mix it outside the joint, or you can just squirt some glue in the joint and then take some dust and just. And if you don't make those noises, it won't work. An angel will be drawn and quartered if you don't make those noises, and they are very loud screamers. So, yeah, that's it. But yeah, you do all sorts of stuff, man. It's just woodworking is constant mistakes. I fucked up bad. The thing I did it on the wrong side. You're always putting tools in the wrong spot. You're always looking around, and now my legs hurt though. It says standing, so I'm gonna move. I have a pad, like a foot standing thing for your feet, so your knees, because I'm large and heavy, and my knees and ankles kind of wear out. Not that I'm like crippled by that, but I just am conscientious of that over my life, and I'm gonna move that pad to the woodworking, because I stand a lot more at the woodworking bench than I do at the kitchen working bench, the sink. All right, man. Sound effects are absolutely necessary, says Shelster Bell. Yeah, teak oil looks really nice and outdoor. I don't have teak oil. I'm aware of it. There's also tung oil. There are tung oil blends. There's Danish oil. I just watched a video about tung oil the other day. Tung oil is some kind of plant, and the real pure tung oil is, I guess, like a thick, pungent substance. And it takes forever to dry. So the blends have chemical additives that decrease drying time. You still get the staining effect, but there's confusion. That's partially what the video is about. I do want to try all the other stuff. I mostly just use boiled linseed oil right now. I said that quickly. Boiled linseed oil. 3 words. And it forms it's a very common woodworking, kind of easy to apply. Well, you can overdo it. It's what's known as oh no, it went away. There's there's film glues, there's film finishes, and then there's, oh Jesus, I've been reading and watching shit tons of videos about it. There's a word, but anyway, so oils, for instance, dry without forming a film, and so then if you want to add a film on top, because maybe it's penetrating, they actually absorb into the wood fibers and into the wood itself, as opposed to just sitting on top. And then there's a process for like layering up polyurethane or shellac or lacquer, and so those are film finishes. You can use them in combination. You don't have to. You can do a penetrating finish first and then add a film finish on top. I did polyurethane on a kitchen cart that I refurbished like 3 or 4 years ago. One of the first kind of woodworking things I did here at this apartment. That kind of planted some of the deep seeds for this eventual woodworking project, I guess. Because I had moved some of my tools back from Illinois. Back in my career before comedy, most of my 20s, I owned an aquarium business. So I kind of knew how to use. I had some tools and stuff. Anyway, lost train of thought again. I just want to play Valheim. What the fuck was I? Oh, but I am going to be experimenting with all the different tools and stuff that are in stains. So, all right. Well, good. That's good. That's our usual woodworking blast at the beginning. bumrushindustries.com. Let me wipe some sweat off the corner of my eye, and hopefully I washed the sriracha sauce off my finger sufficiently, because I just pounded down some microwaved chicken. Nope. Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thoughts are flying a million miles a minute. Let's get back into our Valheim world. What the hell? I got all kinds of sea voyages ahead. I want to get to the point where I can travel faster. I feel like that's important. And I don't. Let me start in on that when we jump in on SuckProfessor here. So let me change the part thing. Oh shit! Deleted it. Set up my chords here a little bit. I will turn the volume up when we jump into the game. So please let me know if there's any weird audio stuff. I think we got this tech stuff mostly settled. First 20 to 30 episodes, I was still dealing with like volume issues but now I'm more or less where I want to be as far as what I need to do to edit. I still go in and I do some color adjusting because it's dark and whatever, but I'm pretty happy with where we're at. So guys on Twitch, thanks for I'm staying on Twitch, don't worry, but I love you all. It's so cool that you guys are watching. Bop in, bop out, however you want to do it. It's nice to see you. I am going to be kind of on the looking at the chat, although not really responding much. I occasionally like to check out it, maybe drop a comment into the video or something, because all this stuff is going to live on youtube.com/suckprofessor. So you're still participating in a sense, I guess. Shelsterbell asks, can you build a boat? Yeah, there's bigger boats than the raft. I don't know. I can't yet. I'm just assuming I'll probably just ramble. Well, let me just start this Difficult enemies are weak to different damage types. They are like, okay. Does that follow? Is that supposed to follow logics? Like, okay, let me just, like, they're kind of made of woodland items. They sort of grow out of the ground, and therefore fire is, okay. So are you supposed to follow, like, this guy's made of water, so hit him up with hot cocoa that's expired. All right, switching over to SuckProfessor, guys. Get my ears going. Ow, my ear wax. Isn't it disgusting that our fucking ears produce wax? There's bees in our ears.